Hope everything is well, man. Hashtag Raider Nation for life. What it do? That's what we do around here, man. Hope everybody is well. Hope everybody is doing good. Hope everybody is blessed. You see the title of the show. Um, no reason to sugarcoat it. No reason to bullshit. Um, Before we get into that, 50 billion things on the face of the planet for you to be tuned into. The fact that you have tuned into my channel for any amount of time is greatly appreciated, more than I could verbally express. I want to say thank you. Shouts out to everybody. Yeah. Uh Dark's in the building. Salute to my guy Dark. What's good with your mind? Raider C Dub. What's good with your mind? Hope all is well. Ot6, my guy. What's good with your mind? Loon, my dude. What's good, man? Hope all is well. Hope you're doing good, man. Raider Resistance, my guy. What's good with your mind? Hope all is well. J Dub in the building. What's good with you, J Dub, man? Hope you're doing well. Arkham, what's good with your mind? Hope all is well with your Ark. Sin, my guy, what's good with you, man? Salute to you, Sin. And I'm sure more people will be pulling up. Some people just haven't chatted yet. Right away, my guy, what's good with your mind? Hope all is well. Hope life is doing good. Circus, my dude, what's good with you? Hope you're all right. Hope life is treating you well. Anthony Estrada, what's good with your mind? Hope you're doing good. Hope everything is well with you. Yeah, man. Let's get into this 53, man. Let's dive into the 53. I put the link out for some people to pull up. They'll pull up when they got the time. I do have a new rule in my show, man. Once I'm 45 minutes in, that's it. The guests you see on the screen are the guests you see on the screen. All my shows will be an hour and a half or less. Hour and a half. No less than an hour, no more than an hour and a half. Right away, I wish I had that old channel to go back to the 30 and 35. You know what I mean? I wish I had that old channel, but because it was taken down, I know it was taken down for a reason. That could have been one of the reasons. I have no clue, but I'm not gonna try it again. Raider Chris, my guy, what's good, man? Hope all is well. So we're gonna jump into this 53. You know what I mean? We're gonna jump straight into this 53. This is what I think. This is what I think. This is basically what I think. Some other people might think this as well, but we're gonna talk about it. I'm trying to get ahead of the curve. For everybody who want to do their 53 next week, my 53 will be out first, and then there you go. J Dog, my guy, what's good with you, man? Raider Nation for life. What it do, my man? What's good with you, man? JB in the building. What's good with you, JB? Hope all is well. Hope you're doing good, man. So we're gonna get straight into it now. That and I'll still salute some people as they pull up. You know what I mean? But we're gonna start with the easy, the simple quarterbacks. All right. We're gonna deal with the quarterbacks. I am on the same verge of I'm on the same train of thought as Hondo Carpenter. I believe the Raiders will carry 3 quarterbacks this year, with that third one not counting against your roster spots. I think they go ahead and carry 3. Jimmy G, Brian Hoyer, and AO4. I think those are your 3 quarterbacks. My guy Chase is on the outside looking in. If they give Chase a chance to play, Chase can make a valuable case for him to be the 3rd string quarterback if he goes out and he plays really well. If he gets the chance to play this weekend and he plays better than Hoyer did last week, Hoyer might be the one on the outside looking in. So that's who right now. I got Jimmy G, Hoyer, and AO4 as the 3 quarterbacks that the Raiders are going to keep. Running backs. Yeah, let's do running backs next. Now, I was listening to Hondo, and Hondo says he thinks they're going to keep 5. I don't think they keep 5. I think they keep 4. I think they only keep 4 running backs this year. And he put 5 with Jacob Johnson. Jacob Johnson. I'm putting 4 with Jacob Johnson. I'm gonna go Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, Amir Abdullah, and Jacob Johnson. That's what I'm going with for mine. So out of that 53, 6 spots gone. You know what I mean? 6 spots gone already. That's just where I'm at, man. That's just me. I believe Sincere McCormick hasn't done enough to prove he deserves a spot. Yeah, that's where I'm at, man. Josh Jacobs for sure, Zamir White, Amir Abdullah, and Jacob Johnson. Yeah. Yeah, that's just where I'm at, man. Brandon Bolden showed me he can run straight. I don't need a running back that can run straight, J-Dog. I need a running back that can do some things. You know what I mean? And I just don't think he got the things, man. Hey, he will. He'll sign next week. He's not signing before the Dallas game. I'll tell you that. He's not going to sign before the Dallas game. Yeah, Arkham. I'm going with the underrated guy as well, man. I'm going with Amir Abdullah as that third running back on the roster. Yeah. Now the tight end room. Well, we know Michael Mayer. We know that for sure. Some people tend to think that Austin Hooper is going to make it. It's a possibility. But I didn't like what I saw from him versus the Rams. He didn't look very good at all. And to top it off, we're talking about second and third string players. He looks like he was struggling against them. I'm going to go very young. I'm going to go Michael Mayer, my guy that I called out last year to be a star this year, Cole Fotheringham. You know what I mean? And Horsted. I think that's the 3 tight ends for this year. I think that's your 3 tight ends right there. You know what I mean? Michael Mayer, your rookie from this year. Cole Fotheringham and Horsted, your UDFAs from last year. I think because Hondo even said it, and I had the same train of thought as him when he said these 2 players, Fotheringham and Horsted, will play a lot this week. You know what I mean? They'll play a lot this week. And if they outshine Austin Hooper has a contract that you can get from under. He has a friendly contract that you can get from under. And Fotheringham and Horsted are two guys that ain't really going to cost you nothing. So now you, not only did you find you some talent, but you also found it at a value. You get to save you some money. Who don't like saving money? You know what I mean? Yeah, Austin Hooper, I wouldn't have gave him no B- versus the Rams, bro. I probably would have gave him a D. You know what I mean? Jacob's tweet says otherwise. What does this tweet say? What does this tweet say? We need the skill set JJ has, the whole package. Running back. Yeah, that is true. Is this 53 what you think will happen, or more of your 53 from your assessments? A blend of both, Joel. It's a blend of both. It's a blend of what I've been watching versus a blend of what makes sense on paper. Right? It's just my thoughts. It's literally just my thoughts, man. But yeah, it's a little bit of both. Mike G, what's good with you, Mike? Salute to you. He said, I'm saying the team in all versus the Niners, A+ versus the Rams, A-, B+. I guess I could go A-, B+ on the Rams game. I can't beat them up too hard about it. I thought the Rams were going to be a shittier team than the Niners. But the Rams have a better backup quarterback than the Niners. Stetson Bennett IV is a better quarterback than Trey Lance. And you can book that at the end of both their careers. Stetson Bennett IV would have been a better quarterback than Trey Lance. Pizzle 420, what's good with you, man? Salute. Hope all is well. So other than that, moving on to our offensive line. Let's move to the offensive line. We've done running backs. Nope. Let's do wide receivers. We'll get to the line after that. Let's go wide receivers. I believe they keep 7 wide receivers this year. I think they keep 7 wide receivers this year. Devontae, Myers, Trey Tucker, Hunter Renfrow, DeAndre Carter, I want to say Wilkerson, but I doubt it. It'll probably go to Dorsett, but I kind of like Wilkerson. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be mad if they kept Wilkerson over Dorsett. But I wouldn't be mad if they kept Dorsett over Wilkerson either. So Arkham says Adams, Jacoby, Renfrow, Tucker, Carter, Dorsett. See, that's 6. Probably Wilkerson. Probably Wilkerson. If they do keep 7, I think Wilkerson is that guy. I think Keelan Cole's time is coming past with us. You know what I mean? I think his time is coming past with us. Reason why I think they keep 7 wide receivers on the roster this year, at least at that initial 53, is because I think if you cut Wilkerson, you run the risk of not being able to get him back. And that's why I think they keep 7 wide receivers. Because remember, after game 1, they can move him to the practice squad if they want to. They can take him from the active roster to the practice squad and then put a hold on him. But if they cut him, he then has to clear waivers to be able to be brought back to the practice squad. So I think they run with 7 wide receivers off the bat. And then they probably move Wilkerson to the practice squad after they've gotten their initial 53 and some other people have been cut. What up, Sean Johnson? What's good with you, man? He says Cam Sims will be a great red zone at 6'5". Problem is, kid can't get open and catch the ball. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a special guest backstage. He's pulling up on the late night hour from where he's from. But he's a good guy. Been around for quite some time. If I'm not mistaken, he started off with Raider Ben and our boy Critique. Not Fuck Critique, but Fuck. I was trying to remember his name because I've been smoking. Raider Critique. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a card collector. He goes out of his way to be emotional about this team because he loves them so much. And if you say something bad about Josh Jacobs, he's liable to jump on you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage a good friend of mine, Mr. Hardcore Raider. What's good with your Hardcore?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Circus follow everybody. As soon as I said card holder, he was like, "Oh, salute Hardcore."
Cheers, man. Hey, I'm giving back, man. I've been giving packs away all fucking last few months. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Man, if you come across a Derek Carr card, bro, just hold it for me and send it to me.
All right, bro. I got you.
Yeah, I still want his card. I don't give a fuck what anybody say.
I got a few. I'll get a little special pack together. I'll send it your way.
Hey, do me like the little Asian guy in Are We There Yet? Ooh, hologram. Ooh, hologram. So we did a rundown, of so far we've gone through quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends. Now we're in wide receivers. My quarterbacks are Jimmy G, Hoyer, and AOFO as it stands right now. But if Chase Garbers plays really well, I think he can push Hoyer out. But he would have to play better than Hoyer did last week. You know what I mean? And then my running backs are Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, Amir Abdullah, and Jacob Johnson. I think they only keep 4 this year. I think they take away from I know they ran with 6 running backs last year. I think they take 2 of those spots away for one for defense and one for the offensive line. You know what I mean? I think there's some people on defense that are just at that, you know what I mean, but could be more productive than that extra running back.
Well, I know Brenton Brown's hurt or whatever, but can't him and Sincere McCormick go on the practice squad? Aren't they? They should be eligible, right? Second year.
Well, Brown is on the IR.
Oh, he did
on
get IR.
Yeah, right. He's on the IR right now. as far as Sincere, I would cut him and see what happens. I'd cut him, flat out cut him and see what happens. If you can bring him back to the practice squad, cool. If not, oh well. I wasn't impressed with Sincere McCormick, man. I'm just being honest. I was not impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't, So for me, I can care less if they cut him or not. It doesn't mean shit to me.
I like it. I mean, I'd like to move on from Brandon Baldwin. He's making like 2.8 mil. So
yeah, cut him. You know what I mean? Cut him, cut Hoyer, and cut Austin Hooper.
Hoyer? I thought you said keep Hoyer.
I want Hoyer to get cut. Honestly, I want Chase to make the roster. I want Chase to play this weekend and play better than Hoyer did, so that they can cut Hoyer.
You don't think Hoyer would be good as just more like a teacher on the team? Not really a backup, but like just to kind of help Aiden
O'Connell.
Need to
suit up for that though?
Huh?
Do you actually need to be in uniform and a roster spot to be a teacher? Can't you just accept a assistant coaching position or something?
True.
The assistant coach to the quarterbacks or something like that, man. Like, do that. But to take up a roster spot just for you to come out and play like shit, I'm all right. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I agree. But
that game, he looked awful to me. I'm just saying, he looked awful.
Right. No, I agree. Didn't the Raiders sign him to like a 2-year contract or something, or wasn't like
but it's something they could walk away from.
Yeah, but I just okay. No, I like all that. I think that's good. Yeah.
I think like 200,000, 300,000 is what we owe him if we walked away.
Yeah.
It's nothing. That's chump change in the NFL, man.
Yeah.
That's like nothing. It ain't no millions.
Right.
I
was gonna say salute to the chat. Hopefully everybody's doing good. I'm just sipping on a little whiskey here.
Hey, I feel you. I ain't got nothing to sip on right now, but I got something to puff on.
Hell yeah.
Got something to puff on.
And then I heard your intake. I liked it. And then because I was listening, and then you were talking about wide receivers. So I was just real. Do you have the wide receivers pulled up of everybody? Because you're talking about 7. I was just curious what 7 you were thinking. I was kind of looking at it. I was just curious your thoughts on which.
So I got Devontae for sure.
Right.
Jacoby Myers for sure.
2.
Hunter Renfrow for sure.
Right.
Now their backups would be the 3 starters. Backups, I got Carter. I got Carter. I have
Keelan
Tucker.
Cole.
I have Tucker. No, I don't have Keelan Cole making the team at all.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
So 2 more.
I have so let me
here. I got the list. I can read who's left. So what?
So I got Devontae, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow starting. I got Trey Tucker backing up Hunter Renfrow. I got Philip Dorsett backing up Devontae Adams, and I have DeAndre Carter. Well, actually, you could put DeAndre Carter either a backup for Jacoby, or you can put him at Renfrow, and you can move Trey Tucker. But I think Trey might be smaller than Carter.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trey Tucker might be a little bit smaller than Carter. DeAndre Carter is
I got it. 5'8". DeAndre Carter's 5'8".
Yeah, 5'8". So, and then moving on down.
Then the other ones, we had Chris Lacey, and then Christian Wilkerson, Isaiah Zuber, and then Cam Sims. So I was curious. I don't know too much about Cam Sims, but I thought that he might have potential. So I was just curious what you thought on Cam Sims. Was he somebody you thought would make the team, or?
Nope. I never thought Cam Sims was making the team. I thought he was a camp body.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I thought he was a camp body, but I never really thought he was. I never thought he was actually going to make the team. I thought we had better guys out there. So Trey Tucker is 1 inch taller. You know what I mean? He's 1 inch taller than Then
DeAndre Carter or DeAndre Carter. Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 1 inch taller than Carter. So you could put
I was curious if Cam Sims was going to do anything this, preseason, but I haven't seen too much from him. But that was one of the guys I was kind of curious if he was going to do anything. Not saying he's going to be a stud, but so.
All eyes, what's good with you, man? Salute to you. Alfredo, what's good with you, man? Salute to you. You know what I mean? Hope all is well with y'all. Yeah, Trey Tucker's not going to the practice squad. I'll tell you that right now. He's not going to the practice squad.
Right. Yeah, we'll lose him. Yeah, not a 3rd round pick. Yeah.
He's not getting cut either, man. I'll tell you that right now. Said salute hardcore and everyone except dirty. All right, I see you, man. I see you. We starting the morning. We're gonna start off like that, huh? You know what I mean? We're gonna start off like that. Okay. Cool.
Coming in swinging.
Yeah, I'd rather have another roster spot like Tucker instead of Hoyer. Hey, the Raiders are going to carry 3 quarterbacks regardless, because you can carry 2 plus 1 that doesn't count against your roster spot. So they're going to carry 3 regardless. That's just it. That just is what it is. That's just how it's going to be. But I'd rather get some money back from Hoyer than have him stink up the joint, man. I'm not trying to really shit on the guy or nothing like that, but that Rams game, bro, it looked like it was just time for him to go ahead and hang up the Jordan 1 cleats, bro, and call it a day. Mm-hmm. I wasn't impressed. I'm sorry. You threw a pick 6.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You threw a pick 6, and you're known for throwing pick 6s, which means you haven't gotten that shit out of your system. I'm good, man. I'm good. You're known for throwing pick 6s. In your career, you've been a journeyman your whole career. You've been to places, but you've been known to throw pick 6s. I'm good. I'm good. Now, unless Chase comes out and throws a bunch of pick 6s, hey,
I was just thinking Hoyer sucks that if he could, because he knows the McDaniel system pretty well, he could probably help Aiden O'Connell, but I'm okay either way. That's not a deal breaker for me. I do have the offensive line pulled up. Was that the next one you were wanting to roll to? Do you want me to read off these names or?
Hold on real quick. Got another guest backstage. I want to pull out real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, it's as I've always said, one of the hardest working men in YouTube. I like to refer to him as the James Brown of Raider content creation. He has a great show. I know they've been on hiatus for a minute, but they will be back soon. It is The Unfiltered Truth, and that is exactly what they give you and bring to you, The Unfiltered Truth. He is also a co-owner of another channel called The Combat Lounge, where they bring you combat in MMA, WWE, WCW, boxing, midget wrestling, pillow fights, the PFC. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show a good friend of mine, the one and only Mr. Philly Phil. Mr. Philly Phil, what's good?
What's happening? Midget wrestling and WCW defunct wrestling leagues and little people. Well, you might as well have thrown in the mud. Why not midget mud wrestling?
Oh man, I ran out. I brought in pillow fighting. The PFC, bro. The PFC, the pillow fighting championship, bro.
Oh man,
I saw that shit the other day, bro. I was rolling, bro. I saw that shit the other day. That's a real sport. I was like, no, you can't be. It's a real sport, bro.
Here pillow fighting.
Yeah, they having pillow fights. Grown ass men in the ring with pillows, bro. And it's a tournament. It's 1 round, 2 minutes, and you can only score by hitting your opponent in the face or the head or the foot with the pillow. Body shots don't count.
The foot?
The foot.
Wow.
Yeah, the head or the foot. These motherfuckers have spinning back twist fighting pillows. Like, man, they did a roundhouse backwards, bro, with the pillow. Hell nah,
bro. I'd be over there chucking pillows like I was fucking Roger Clemens or somebody. They just one right after. You'd be playing dodgeball with some damn pillows.
Need to throw some rocks or like spikes in there. Then that amp it up a little bit.
Yeah, they got like 10 pound. They got 10-pound cotton blend with a bean bag.
Bro, you can't have 10-pound nothing. You can't have 10-pound nothing. You kill somebody with one of those, you get enough backswing in that.
Man, I'm telling you, bro. The pillow fighting championships, bro. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm dead serious. They have the pillow fighting championships. We're gonna take a small little interlude for y'all to see PFC real quick. A small little interlude. Then we're gonna get back into this 53, which is what the show is all about. But yes, man, pillow fighting at its best.
PFC, like UFC, but PFC. Are you fucking serious?
It's PFC, bro. Pillow fighting championships.
I didn't even think this was a thing, dude. I was like,
it's a real thing.
Be wearing pajamas, have like fingernails and like long hair.
Dirty, listen, bro. Now I'm over here. I'm trying to have turned over a new leaf in this YouTube content thing, and I'm sitting here looking at this. I just happened to jump on the show in the middle of, because I said my man has reached out to me a couple of times, and I ain't been there for him. Man, I jump on, and this is the old shit you got me on here watching. Man. I'm over here in mid joint, looking at this shit, talking about I'm not high enough already for this shit.
Bro, I was high as a kite when I saw it, bro. I fell out rolling, bro.
I was now, it'd have been like we might have had something if you had chicks, but it was two dudes, bro. I couldn't get there.
Oh, they got the chicks section too, bro. They got the women. They fight.
You should have led with that one, bro.
I just pulled up the first one that popped up.
Come on, man, y'all got to stop this.
I pulled up the first one, man. My bad, bro.
I've been like, man, who sanctioned this, bro? Who said somebody? Dude's pillow fighting, not right there. That's a hit, boy. Hardcore gonna give me all his money to see this shit.
He's like hardcore pillow fighting. You're like,
ring.
You're like, there ain't no hardcore pillow fighting, and then you pull it up. It's like a UFC rank and everything. We're like, what is this really happening? Like,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, how does this work? Somebody in the ring pull somebody out of the crowd? I mean, what's going on here? You can't train for this.
These people, they sign up, bro. They have they sign up 10 people, right? From that 10, the top 6 advance, and then they fight, and then from there, the top 3 advance, and then the 2 with the two best overall scores, they fight for the championship at the end of the night, and they fight all of these on the same night.
So this is like all the failed UFC fighters and like failed boxers like enter.
Yeah, these are all the dudes who can't take real contact.
Nigga, this is pillow fight. You're talking about they fight all these dudes in one night. Nigga, they are pillow fighting.
Bro, I watched this. Bro, and they had this dude on there named Chocolate Thunder. Nigga, I was like, no, man, turn it off.
If you don't, you about to make me set my hair on fire. What are you said? Chocolate Thunder, a pillow fight, bro? No,
his name was Chocolate Thunder. I was like, no, you cannot have that name in pillow fighting. Chocolate Thunder, bro.
No.
I'm glad you showed me because I was that like I know you're not gonna fib on us, but like you know what I mean. Like I totally picked something different.
You got to see that shit.
You got to see that shit.
You're like flipping channels, like you see a rank, you're expecting a boxing match or UFC. You see these guys like hit each other with pillows. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, at first you look at the thing, you're like, "What the fuck is that in his hand?" I'd be like, "What? They got some shit up in the pillow sack? I mean, what's going on there?"
Right.
You're like, "No, that's a regular ass pill." Like, oh hell no, bro.
This motherfucker then went to Sears and got him a goose down pillow, nigga. He smacked
Goose down.
Motherfucker went to Marshalls and got him a cheap feather pillow, trying to hope that he gonna stab somebody through the damn pillowcase with that shit.
Nigga walked in to sit and sleep before his fight. Hey man, I forgot my pillow back at the house.
that shit ain't no purple pillow. That ain't no purple pillow, man.
Hey, I got purple pillows, bro. Don't talk shit about purple
memory
pillows,
foam, bro. That's how they cheating with the memory foam pillows.
Bro, he said putting the pillow in the freezer before the fight.
Man.
Hey, man. Hey,
I don't want to change the subject too much, but I do want to ask you a question real quick, if I may, because I'd seen one of your streams. I think you were talking about AOC, and you're like, I'm pretty sure yours. Huh?
AO4.
Yeah, I know, but you had said we don't call them that over there or over here, and I'm just like, I like that, but I'm curious why you said don't call them that. If you don't mind going a little more, I mean, I have an opinion on it, but I liked what you said, so that's why I wanted to just ask you.
My opinion, your opinion is probably dead spot on to what I'm getting ready to say, bro. I feel like the people that keep running with the AOC, most of them are car haters. Right. You know what I mean? And all it is giving you an excuse or a reason to bring up DC. You know what I mean? Let Aiden O'Connell be Aiden O'Connell. You know what I mean? AO4, that's a fire ass name. That sound like a dope ass weapon. That sound like you'd ask somebody that, hey man, this nigga over here tripping, man, hand me the AO4. It sound like a dope ass weapon.
It does, yeah.
I like it. I just all that AC, AOC, like anything that has to do with close to being DC, bro, I'm done with it, bro. I'm done with DC. I'm done with talking about what he did and didn't do when he was here.
Yeah.
He's not here.
Well, and there's a political figure that goes by AOC. So every time I hear the name, I think of that chick or whatever. I forget where she's at, like New York or something. But yeah, I think the AOC is a disservice to Aiden O'Connell. I think he needs to create his own legacy, his own name, not copycat, whether it's a political figure or car or whatever, like you're saying. He needs to be his own man. You know what I mean? So yeah, I liked what you said. So yeah.
Yeah, no, let him build his own legacy. I mean, he's already got the number, bro, but let him build his own legacy, man.
So are you
don't let it have to be attacked
I'm
somebody
gonna step
else.
out here. We gonna have this since you brought me out here. You made this statement. So am I a car hater because I call him AOC because I don't want to pronounce his whole name? Because I'm like, yo, I actually have to write the whole thing every time I want to say it.
Oh, you good? Anybody can say what they want to say. Just here on my show, he's AO4. You say AOC4, I don't know who you're talking about. I will call him that.
J-Dog said he'd like to have his number switched. I would too. I wish he would have chose like, I don't know, 12 or 16 or I don't know. But
man, I don't even think he chose 4. I think they gave it to him.
No, they did. They issued that shit to him. Yeah,
I think they gave it to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They was like, here, we gonna make half the nation happy, half the nation mad. But that don't even matter. Yeah. So Philly Field pulled up. So far, Phil, we done been through quarterbacks. We've been through quarterbacks, we've been through running backs, we've been through tight ends, we've been through wide receivers.
Who's your third running back?
So I got us only keeping 4 running backs. I got us keeping Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, Amir Abdullah, and Jacob Johnson. That's it. I think they need that other spot for something on the defense, and we'll address that when we get to the defensive side of the ball. But my 4 running backs, and I only think they keep 4. I don't think they're going to run with 5 or 6 like they did last year. They definitely need one of those. They definitely need one of those spots to keep Wilkerson, and they definitely need that other spot to keep Jay Nesta. But like I said, we'll get to that when we get to that. As far as like that other running back, them not carrying 6 and only carrying 4, I think that I think they need to hold on to that spot for Wilkerson. Because if you cut Wilkerson, you might not get him back.
You shouldn't.
So that's why I'm like, I just don't see. Now, I see Wilkerson maybe slide into the practice squad after making the 53, which you can do after week 1. You could relegate him back to the practice squad and make some other changes once you set your 53. But I think if you cut him, the odds of you getting him back is slim to none. And I don't think the Raiders are willing to risk that. True.
When we get in the offensive line, do you mind if I read off all the guards and then I'll pass the mic back to you to hear who you want to keep or who you think makes it?
Well, we'll start with the let me catch Phil up. Phil's quarterbacks are Garoppolo, Hoyer as it stands right now, and Aofo. But if it's true that,
in that order,
as it stands right now, and this is why. If there's any truth to the fact that Jimmy G and Brian Hoyer are not going to Dallas, then that means we have Aiden O'Connell and Chase Garbers. I think this is going to be the game that they let Chase Garbers play, and it is up to him to play better than Brian Hoyer did versus the Rams. I thought Hoyer was awful. Some people are telling me, oh, he did this, he did that. I watched the game twice. I still think he was awful. He threw a pick 6, and he's been known for throwing pick 6s his whole career, and you still ain't worked that shit out 15 years later. I ain't willing to take it into the season. Just being honest.
You're gonna take it into the season. So the way that I had it picked, because I did it. Me and Jones actually did our show today, and we ran our 53. So I'll be the first to tell you that if it wasn't for the fact that you can dress a third quarterback without having him count against a roster spot, I would cut Brian Hoyer straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Said I don't. He said at this point in time, he's not better than he's more experienced, but not better than O'Connell.
No.
And O'Connell is not ready. He's gonna have to do a lot more before I'm gonna be convinced that he's ready to be the starter. He's gonna have to do something other than be cover one. And as I sat back and I watched, another thing came up to me that I actually needed, that I'm gonna stop and look at and watch more carefully moving forward. Anything outside of 25 yards, and his velo drops considerably. Deep passes lose steam quickly.
Is it? I mean, Philly, isn't he aren't you a writer for like Raider Ramble or something like that? Or okay, yeah, I thought so. Good content, man. Keep it up, man.
Thank you.
That's what we have over here at Amazon. We have great content creators. No, see, my thing, Aiden or Aofo can be taught up some things. It ain't necessarily going to be this year. I don't expect him to come in, ball all the way out this year. In all honesty, I really hope he doesn't have to touch the field. I hope Jimmy G stays healthy and does his thing and gives Aiden, one more year to really grasp the concept of what it is we're doing. And then they can battle out in camp from there. But for now, best quarterback on our roster right now is Jimmy G.
Mm-hmm.
The worst quarterback on our roster is a toss-up between Chase and Brian Hoyer. I think Brian Hoyer takes it, but I haven't seen Chase play.
The last time it was bad, bro. It was bad. It was worse than Hoyer, to be honest with you.
Dirty, you've been a Hoyer or a Garber supporter for like a year or so now, right? Or
so have I.
Since we got him. But I mean, Hoyer played what, 3 minutes in the first game? I mean, not Hoyer. Chase Garbers played 3 minutes at the end of the first game.
Yeah, right. Not long. Yeah.
It wasn't very long, and he threw a touchdown. Yeah. Now, it was a 1 yard, 2 yard touchdown, but he still threw it. He still threw it. He ain't throw no pick six.
No, he didn't.
But you watched Garbers in college, right? Wasn't that your liking to him, or kind of?
I covered him in college.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Nearly his entire Cal career.
Yeah. So that's just where I'm at with the quarterbacks. Wide receivers, I mean, that's super, super simple, super easy. You already know what those are. You know what I mean? DA, Myers, Renfro, starters, right? Carter, backup. Tucker, backup. Dorsett, backup. And then adding Wilkerson in also as well. So that's my 7. That's my 7 wide receivers. I think they keep 7 this year. Simply because they're going to use Tucker and Carter as return guys as well as wide receivers. So that does leave us a spot open for Wilkerson to slide in when somebody's tired or whatnot. And then, so now we're on the offensive line. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, for me, my left side of the offensive line, from the center to the left tackle, is already set for me. For me. Everybody else can have a different opinion, but for me, just on that left side of the ball, is going to go Andre James, Dylan Parham, Colton Miller. The right side of the ball, that's going to be a tough one for me, but I'm going to go ahead and throw Bars in. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and throw Bars in. Maybe Muti. Probably Muti.
Really?
Huh?
Did you not watch Moody?
I saw him.
All right.
I saw some good things. I saw some bad things. The guy I wasn't really impressed with, and I was kind of upset about, and I know he could play better, and I wish he would have played better in the Rams games, was Thayer Munford. He just stood straight up too many times for me, man. That was my only gripe with him. You know, I mean, there's a couple of plays where he stood straight up and got moved. You know, had he stayed low or whatnot, I feel like it'd have been a better outcome. But it was too many plays where I saw him standing straight up, you know, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? You know, I know you're a big guy, but damn, what are you doing? You know, so.
Do you mind if I read off everybody on the offensive line real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. For guards, we have Alex Bars, McClendon Curtis, Jermaine Illuminor. He's listed as a guard, but Jermaine Illuminor, Vitelli Gurman, I probably messed that up. Sorry. Jordan Meredith, Natane Muti, Dylan Parham, Greg Van Roten, and then for tackles, we have Justin Heron, Colton Miller, Thayer Mufford, Brandon Parker, who's hurt, and then Dalton Wagner. So I just wanted to kind of read them off real quick because, curious what you guys think for backups for some of those positions. So
I'm going to let Phil go ahead and answer this one. And I'll see where I'm at with it.
The way my starting 5 went left to right was Miller, Parham, James, Van Roten, and Munford. And then I had Illuminor, Gronis, and Bars on the bench. And put as an extra lineman, but I actually ended up cutting him because I used that extra spot someplace else. But it was a toss up with Wagner and Heron. I think Wagner's going to end up on the practice squad, to be honest with you.
Where did you have McClendon Curtis? Did you have him making it or
no?
Okay.
I like that list. I think Muti makes the team.
Make my team.
I feel you. That's the only one I feel like Muti makes the team.
And you had Philly, you had Thayer Munford starting. Is that what you were projecting?
Mm-hmm. I didn't share Darity's analysis, but we on a couple play variances, it could very well be that I did see him stand up straight, but I didn't see him give up any pressure or lose the rep.
Right. Well, he's 6'6", and this coaching staff likes big, tall offensive linemen. So
I'm not saying he got pushed back. What I'm saying is there was no movement at all. He was solid. He didn't give up anything, but he also didn't really punish the guy like he should have. Had he been lower, he probably would have decleated dude. You know what I mean? We probably could have got a couple of extra yards. I did see one play where he didn't get thrown, but what it was they got into a hand battle and the defensive end actually swam to the inside real quickly, and Moody stepped to the out. Thayer stepped to the outside, so it looked bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, the kid is good. The kid is really good. I was very high on him last year. That's why I said I was slightly disappointed in the last game because I know he can play better. I definitely have him making the squad. That's for sure. I definitely have him making the squad, but I just want him to work on that. That's standing straight up, you know.
I get it.
A starting defensive end gonna embarrass you with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a starting high caliber DN, he'll make you pay for that. He'll make you pay for that. So
yeah, I like it. I mean, the only one I would say is the Thayer Munford versus Jermaine Illuminor. I'm just curious what happens there. You know, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. So other than that, I mean, I think everything you guys said, you know, I like. So
I don't think you can go wrong with either one starting.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Thayer Munford can roll out and be a tight end blocking, you know, extra lineman blocking too, like he did last year. So,
but I think it's going to come down to those bench players are going to be guys who can rotate and play multiple positions up on the line.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's those last three guys. Yeah, that's what they're going to be. They're going to be rotational guys who can go in and fill in at any point and spot on that line if they need be. I don't know if the Raiders keep a backup center on the active roster. I think they put one on the practice squad though.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, the backup center is Graysu.
Yeah, Ronis. But yeah,
he's age 32. I don't think he could qualify to be on the practice squad. I don't know.
Anybody can be on the practice
squad. Ain't going to the practice squad. They'll keep him. They've kept Ronis on the active roster for what, the last 3 years?
Well, and Dylan Parham can be play center, so yeah.
He got it. You want him to stay at guard because if you move him from guard, now you're in a bet. Now you're starting to fuck with shit.
Yeah, no, I mean I'd rather him stay at guard personally, but yeah, he's versatile at least. But
doesn't Hoyer have the cap hit if we cut him after September 1st?
I don't care.
The cap hit is after September 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
I honestly don't care.
Do you want me to pull it up? I can look it up.
Yeah.
If you can. But let's go to the defensive side of the ball, man. Let's get to the defensive side of the ball. Where do you guys want to start, man? Where do you guys want to start on the defensive
D-line? But
start a D-line. We'll start a D-line because that's going to be a long subject right there, man. It's a lot of people on that defensive line that should be staying and should be going. So my starting front defensive line, if they're going 4 down, I'm gonna go Chandler Jones, Max Crosby on the outside. I'm gonna go Tillery, and I want to say Young or Wilson, but I don't think either one of them are ready. So I'm gonna go with what's dude's name, man? The veteran from Chicago. What is
Bilal Nichols?
Nichols, yeah, there you go. I'm gonna go Nichols, Tillery on the inside. I'm gonna go Max Crosby and Chandler Jones on the outside as your starters.
That's what I had for my starting four.
Yeah. And then I think Wilson and Young both make the squad. I'm gonna go Malcolm Kuntz makes the squad. Matthew Butler makes the squad.
He doesn't make mine.
And Nesta J makes the squad.
He didn't make mine either.
Yeah. What you got on the defensive line, Hardcore?
All right, here I pulled it up. Give me a second here. So, because I like to kind of read it, and then that kind of helps me digest it. So, all right, I'm gonna start at defensive end. We have currently, I'm gonna read everybody, then I'll kind of tell you who I think we're keeping. David Ogoa, Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, Malcolm Kuntz, Adam Plant, Isaiah Rochel, and then George Talis, Jordan Willis, Tyree Wilson. Obviously, we're keeping Tyree Wilson. And then obviously Max Crosby, that's 2. Malcolm Kuntz would be 3. 4 would be Chandler Jones. It's going to be tough if we were to keep a 5th one. I would probably point more towards maybe where is he? Maybe Adam Plant is if we were to keep a 5th one. But I mean, we're probably only keeping 4 would be my guess. And then for defensive tackles, we have Adam Butler, Matthew Butler, Neil Farrell Jr., John Jenkins, Bilal Nichols, Nesta Jade Silvera, Jerry Tillery, Byron Young. So I feel like the defensive tackle spot, even though we've struggled with it, is a little bit tougher. But I'm going to go Byron Young. We drafted him, obviously. Jerry Tillery, we just signed him to a contract. That's 2. Bilal Nichols would be 3. And then Matthew Butler, probably 4.
And John Jenkins.
I mean, and this is another, like, yeah, and then it's like, yeah, if we were to keep a 5th spot, that'd be like either John Jenkins.
We're keeping 5. We're keeping 9 on the front line. We're keeping 5 defensive.
We kept 5. It's probably between, like you said, John Jenkins or maybe even Nesta Jade Silvera. That was a 7th round draft pick we got. I think there's going to be a big battle there. So they got some tough decisions to make for who they're going to keep at D tackle and defensive end, you know, not saying any of these guys, like some of those guys are super studs, but you know, for depth and, you know, guys that could grow and develop. I do kind of like Nesta Jade Silvera, like as a guy that might be able to be developed, but you know, that's to be determined. You know, he's a guy known to be a hothead and kind of cause some penalties at times. But honestly, I kind of like that. I feel like our defense needs that, especially on the defensive line. So I'd like to see a guy, even if he's going to make some bonehead mistakes or penalties, I'd like to see a guy that's fired up, ready to, you know, take names, kick ass kind of thing. So I'm kind of rooting for the dude, you know, even though he was a late round draft pick. But
yeah, I got Jade. That's why I took that other running back spot away. I got him keeping 6. No more than that though. I think they might keep 5. I think they keep Nesta Jade and then they relegate him to the practice squad after they've set their 53. And that's when they, you know, everybody else start getting cut and they want to, you know, go out and get some people. They got to fill their practice squad from that point. So I feel like, yeah, that's what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to run with 6 all year, but I think they're going to keep him because honestly, he's another guy like Wilkerson. I feel like if you cut him, you may not get him back. And I think that Nesta J could work out for us in the future. I think he could be something really nice for us in the future. I see a similar mentality in him that I see in a Meek. You know what I mean? Why I get so high on the Meek, because I see that dog in him. I kind of see that in Nesta too. So, and I think a lot of other teams see it as well. So, even though he's raw and he's not 100% there, you know, with some grooming, the kid could actually be a really good football player in the long run. But that's just me. That's just me.
I like it.
So, what was your defensive line, Phil?
So I gave you the starters. I kept Adam Butler. I kept Neil Farrell Jr., Byron Young.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think those were Tillery Nichols, Young. No. Isaac Rochelle was one that had slipped my mind. And I think he's going to the practice squad too. I kept the same defense. Huh?
If he clears waivers.
If he clears waivers, yeah, he might not clear waivers. He might not, but they've snuck some guys in there that I thought wouldn't make it too. But I had the same defensive ends, but I actually kept Jordan Willis as well. And so I ran 10 up front.
Okay. I'm in that 9 to 10 range as well. I just don't think they keep that active throughout the season.
They may not, but at the same time, that with the issues that they had with depth and guys getting hurt last year, yeah. I think you're set on offense. You're gonna need the pieces on defense.
Yeah, I definitely see that. Okay, so let's go to linebackers.
That's where it gets fun.
This is interesting. Give us the list of linebackers, Hardcore.
Yeah, I got you. Give me 1 second. All right, so linebackers pulling up here, starting up top. We got Curtis Bolton, Amari Burney, who was drafted by the Raiders, like I think it was 5th or 6th round. Darian Butler, Divine Diablo, Luke Masterson, Kaney Mayuga. I'm terrible with names, so sorry. Robert Spillane, Drake Thomas.
Spillane, yes. Diablo, yes. Masterson, yes. Butler, yes.
Oh.
And Duvernay, Bernay.
Barney or Bernay?
Yeah, Bernay. Yeah.
That's probably who I would have picked too, yeah.
Yeah, that's
wait, but you didn't have Drake Thomas, huh? I know some people are high on Drake Thomas, but
he's on the outside looking in for me, man.
Yeah. That makes
He's
sense.
right there. He's right there. You know what I mean? But when I look at what I looked at for the last 2 games, now there's one more game to be played, and my opinion could swing. This is not an official. This is just like a preview of what could possibly be, and this is just based off my assessment of what I've been watching, right? And I just feel like Darian Butler is a better linebacker. You know, he likes to fly to the ball. He's quick. He's fast. Is he best in coverage? No, not really. But he makes tackles. You know what I mean? He makes tackles. And I know he's on a small side, but that's okay. You know what I mean? Kid plays with a ton of heart, and you know what? You need that. So I got him keeping 5 linebackers. That's my 5 right there.
I like it, man.
Phil, you got 5, and then we come to Hardcore with his 5.
The 5 that I had Divine, Spillane, and Curtis Bolton as your starters. I think I actually went 6. Bernay, Drake Thomas, and who's the last one?
You got Masterson in there?
No, Masterson didn't make my team. Neither did Butler. I think both of them. I think on this particular roster, both of them can go to the practice squad.
I thought Masterson played pretty well these last 2 games.
Until you look at him in covers trying to cover the tight end.
I get you, but I don't know. I don't know if I expect him to. I don't know if I expect him to play that position throughout the whole year.
He's also not going to start.
He's not starting. That's for sure. He's not starting. But I think
and at that particular position, I like what Drake Thomas offers you more than what Masterson does.
So strong. Look, you got a strong argument for either one. I just think Luke Masterson might be on a higher upside for them. I think they may think his ceiling is just a little bit higher.
Before I give mine, can I ask you guys a quick question? If we're going against, I know nobody can cover freaking Travis Kelce, but if we're going against the Chiefs and Travis Kelce, which of these linebackers has the best chance to either get interceptions or help in pass coverage versus another linebacker? Kind of curious what you think, Philly.
There's a way to handle Travis Kelce, and it's not necessarily the way that you're thinking. You're thinking in terms of one-on-one coverage, and I'll tell you, with the playground offense that the Chiefs run, you're going to get burned every time you try to run a traditional man-to-man defense. They break down all of the running around that they do breaks down the zone, so it's orchestrated mad chaos. But it's highly effective in the way it disrupts the disciplines and the assignments. Now, with that being said, the way you stop Travis Kelce is a 2 multi-layered pronged attack. And it starts with your defensive end chucking the shit out of him on every play. And for too long, because he's 6'5", and what, 250, 260, got a little size on him. It's not your typical defensive end who can do that. Now you have a guy who's bigger than he is, who can do that if he goes about and does it. Now, when they did it with Bruce Irvin, you limited him to almost absolutely nothing. They tried it in similar fashion last year, and they kept him to like 25 yards, but 4 of those catches were touchdowns.
Right. Yeah. So which, like, I know what you're saying, like, hit him off the line and then have either like a nickel back, like a slot cornerback or nickel back cover him possibly, or if you were to have a linebacker. But I guess my main question, which of these linebackers do you think would help with that scheme fit defensively if we're going to go against the Chiefs specifically to maybe help us get a victory or stop some of that? I know you can't stop them completely, but is there any linebackers that kind of stand out that have the body size or the skill set to
maybe you kind of have to bracket, you know what I mean? You kind of have to bracket him. So you kind of have to play him inside out. You know, what I mean is you have to have somebody on the inside, you have to have somebody on the outside of it. That's just kind of how you have to play Travis Kelce. Or you can call it man over top, man over, underneath. You can call it either one, right? But that's really truly the only way you can really take him out of the game or have really any effect on him is to slim the window of the possibility of a pass. If I have to pick a linebacker to help a defensive back, if I had to pick a combination of defensive back and linebacker to play that, I'd probably hope Nate Hobbs could stand up to it, and maybe Devon Diablo.
So I'm gonna say Amari Burney because he used to play safety, and I know he's a later round pick, but
so did Devon Diablo, so did Luke Masterson, and so did Robert Spillane. They all played safety in college.
Right. I don't know. I just think that there's something. I think there's something we might be able to use with Amari Burney. I'm not saying he's going to be a starter, but they drafted him. I'm kind of that was one of the guys I was wanting to watch going into preseason. So I'm not going to call him a starter, but that's going to be one of my backups. And then I'll go obviously Divine Diablo, Spillane. Drake Thomas is interesting for this style that I'm kind of looking for to help our team. That's more of a slot like linebacker that can maybe help cover some wide receivers. Because I feel like that's like one of the biggest things on our team is we need somebody at the linebacker position that can cover whether it's tight ends or wide receivers at times. And so, they may not be the best at stopping the run, but so I'm looking at that. So that being said, I guess what I need, one more spot. I guess I could see Butler maybe or Luke Masterson. I think they're kind of in a battle. If we kept 4, maybe we keep 5. If we kept 5, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Drake Thomas. I think this is kind of there's going to be someone either cut or moved to the practice squad. That's going to be a tough one for us to keep. I wish we would have drafted somebody a little bit higher. Like a Drew Sanders or something like that, but it's neither here or there. But I'm secretly excited about Amari Burney to see what how he can develop. But that's kind of where I'm at.
Definitely keeping him. I wouldn't cut him because one, he's a draft pick. 2, you cut him, you're really not getting him back. I like the fact that he's a tackling guy. You know what I mean? He's a guy that's not afraid to go and make a tackle, make the hit. His coverage needs some work. You know what I mean? His coverage still needs a little bit of work, coming up. See, it's a difference from playing safety to linebacker. There really is a difference. As safety, I get to sit back and kind of let everything develop underneath me, right? At linebacker, I can't sit. I have to react quickly. It's like playing running back on the offense. You can't sit. You have to react. So it's a vast difference in between the two, even when it comes down to coverage. You're not used to playing that close underneath. For some safeties. Some safeties do play up that close. Some a lot don't. But yeah, that's kind of seems to be a trend that we got going too. Is all of our linebackers have safety experience.
Because the linebacker position, I feel like, is one of the most important positions that our team has lacked for a lot of years. So if you don't mind me, guys, asking you a quick question, what would you like to see as far as like development or from the linebacker position from the Raiders this year, whether it's interceptions or tackles or could be anything, but like if you guys were to say like we end the year and you're like, hey, our linebacker core did a lot better. Like what was the kind of equation to make them do better for what you guys like to see this season?
I think with this style of play that they're in and this size that they are, you're more likely to get interceptions and sacks from these guys. Now, one thing that I will say that they have done is while you may sacrifice run defense because they're not coming up and thumping anybody, they've gotten to the quarterback when the opportunities have presented themselves and have shown themselves to be able to get back and disrupt passing lanes. And so I would be inclined to say that if you could get interceptions and sacks, if say maybe you got 2 to 3 interceptions from every guy across the board, you'd end up with almost 10, 12 interceptions from the position group. And that's a massive impact over the course of the season.
Right. Yeah. Well, especially because we only had 6 interceptions last year. I mean, you're talking about maybe that bumping the Raiders up to top 15 defense, possibly if that happened. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, we had 6 interceptions with 2 people having 2 and 2 other people having 1 each.
Yeah, Amik Robertson and wasn't Harmon?
No, Harmon had 1.
Oh, that's right.
Amik had 2, and Denzel Perryman had 2.
Okay. Yeah, but either way, we had 6 total. So if our linebackers alone had at least 6, I mean that would be, plus our cornerbacks are going to get a few, so that'd be amazing. Yeah, or a lot better at least.
Yes,
a lot. I'm already on record as saying that Max Crosby was going to break the sack record. I've already said that. I don't know if we will break an interception record, but I know we will be one of the top turnover defenses in the NFL this year. At least top 10 in turnovers. I got a feeling we should be top 10 in turnovers. What I would be surprised is if this defense held up to 1,500, maybe not 1,500. Yeah, I would say like if they could hold anywhere between a 15 to 1,700 yard season, I'd be happy, man. Mm-hmm. If they gave up 100 yards, if they only gave up 100 yards a game, bro, running the ball, I'd be like, okay, cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it.
If they only gave up 100 yards, that would make me happy. If they only gave up 100 yards running a game and still played that tremendous pass defense that it looks like they are built to play, that would be fantastic. But you know what? That's not all on them. That comes down to that front line too. So that front line can get that pressure as the pressure like we've been seeing, especially from that first game. They had 18 hurries on the quarterback in that first game. I don't have the numbers offhand of what they had this last week, but I know they were getting there. You know what I mean? They got some pressure out there. I saw Meek blitz twice and forced quarterback to throw some quick shit. But let's transfer into safeties because I'm in my last 10 minutes of the show. I want to get into the safeties and the corners, and then I want to get your individual thoughts on the game coming up this week. So for safeties, we're keeping 4.
Do you want me to read them off real quick or for you?
Well, I know what 4 we keeping, but go ahead and read them off.
Sorry. All right. Marcus Epps, Jadon Grant, Jaquan Johnson, Trayvon Moehrig, Isaiah Pomalo, Chris Smith II, and then Rajic Teamer, the safeties.
So my 4, and this is just my 4. Anybody else can have their own opinion. So my starters are Moehrig and Epps. My backups are Polamalu and Smith. What you got for us, hardcore? What would be your?
I would pick this exact same, so I'll just leave it simple like that. I mean, not to ride your coattails, but I think you hit the nail on the head as far as what I would consider. I mean, Rajic Teamer, it's kind of iffy, but because they drafted Chris Smith, I don't see how they would, not keep Chris Smith. So yeah, I
think Polamalu has a higher ceiling than Teamer, especially with the pick.
I think so too. Yeah, he's worked out a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Phil, what you got for safeties?
I kept them both actually. I kept Moehrig, Epps, Teamer, Smith, and Polamalu.
Okay, so you ran with 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I if they keep 5, okay, cool. But if they only keep 4, I think Teamer's out.
You're gonna see a lot of at minimum 3 safety looks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I will. But I just feel like if they had to leave one out and only carry 4, I think Teamer is the one that's out.
Plays special. He's the gunner.
I understand.
Special teams, yeah.
I understand. I'm just saying if they only kept 4.
He's the gunner. He's not going anywhere.
Polamalu is not going anywhere.
He'd be more likely to go somewhere than Teamer would be.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a matter of opinion. It's a matter of opinion.
No, I get it. I'm a fan of Polamalu. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of this. That's why I was keeping it.
Yeah. Pick 6, pick six, that speaks volumes, man.
No, man, that pick six don't speak volumes. Did you
it
watch
was garbage
that thing?
throw. I get it, but look, he caught it.
He converted
and he
his
ran
opportunity.
it in.
Yeah, he converted his opportunity and did what he was supposed to do. So for that, I commend him.
He was in position. He was where he's supposed to be. He caught the ball. He didn't fumble it. He didn't drop it. He caught the pick, brought it in. Something America hasn't really been doing, catching picks and bringing them in when they hit him in his face. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I can't argue that. That's real.
We know who the specialists are, man. We don't even gotta talk about it, bro. We know who the long snapper is. We know who the kicker is. We know who the punter is. We don't really have to go through all of that. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Carlson and the other fucking guy name.
Next up, you want to do cornerbacks? You want to read them off real quick?
That's the last position is the corners. They're only keeping 6 corners. I know it's 6 they're keeping, but if you want to read off the list, that's fine. But I already know what 6 I'm keeping.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna read them off real quick if you don't mind. Jacorian Bennett, Ike Brown, Bryce Crosby, Brandon Faison, Tyler Hall, Azizi Hearn, and then Nate Hobbs, David Long Jr., Marcus Peters, Amik Robertson, Duke Shelley, Sam Webb.
I'm going starting. I'm going Bennett and Peters, Hobbs. Then I'm going to have to go Amik, Shelley, and probably Long. Because Ike Brown is out of here already. Webb looks lost. Hearn is nice, but isn't he a UDFA? If I'm not mistaken, he's a UDFA. It's a guy you can stash on the practice squad, get him better. If you cut him, I don't think you lose him. So I think they only keep 6, and that's my 6. Who wants to give their 6 next?
Go for it, hardcore.
All right. So obviously Jacorian Bennett would be my first one. Next up, I'll say Nate Hobbs and then Marcus Peters. I'm not going in exactly numerical order, but those 3. And then I think it gets tough. I think this is a really tough position. Brandon Faison is like a question mark for me personally. I feel like he's got potential. I feel like they brought him in for a reason, but he might be out possibly. I would probably go Duke Shelley as like 4, and then David Long Jr. as like 5, and then it's a toss up between Sam Webb, Amik Robertson, and Brandon Faison. So Amik has caught some interceptions. He's like a guy that should always be like out of the realm, it seems like, but he just always finds a way to get the ball. That interception he had against Travis Kelce and the Chiefs last year was insane. I don't even know how that dude like got it, especially when he's vertically challenged compared to Travis Kelce. So as much as I almost want to put Amik Robertson out, I can't because he just finds a way to get to the ball. But then Sam Webb, I think, has potential. And then I think they brought in Brandon Faison. So the last one's really tough for me. I would probably go Amik Robertson just because he's just got a knack to get the ball, even though he's not as tall as some of these other guys, but he just got a dogfight in him. So
he missed his pick 6 opportunity versus the Rams. You know, I mean, if he catches that, he takes it to the house. But at the same time, I'm not upset because he still broke up the pass, which was on the 3rd down. The receiver was right at the sticks. He could have got it first. So, I mean, either way it goes, it's still a good play. They had to punt the ball to us. So, you know what I mean? Would I have liked the pick 6? Of course I would. He would have too. Everybody would have enjoyed the pick 6. But the kid reacts to the ball. I mean, if you actually go and look at the 2 games, you know what I mean? he hasn't been targeted because his coverage has gotten real sticky this year. There's not really a window for a quarterback to throw into. So, that's why you don't see his numbers in the stats, because he's not being targeted. That's something you want to keep on your roster. But Phil, what you got?
I had Peters, Hobbs, and Bennett as the starters. Faison, Long, and then I had trying to think. Hold on, make sure I covered everybody.
I can read them all back if you want, if that helps.
Please.
Yeah, no problem. There's a lot, so I couldn't memorize all of them either. That's why I had to pull it up. All right. We have Jacorian Bennett, Ike Brown, Bryce Crosby, Brandon Faison, Tyler Hall, Azizi Hearn, Nate Hobbs, David Long Jr., Marcus Peters, Amik Robertson, Duke Shelley, and Sam Webb.
Yeah, I think I had all the guys that I mentioned, and then probably a toss up between Amik, Webb, and Tyler Hall. Because I personally think they're all a variation of the same player.
Man.
So you don't need three of them. You only need the best one out of the bunch.
I should have refreshed my screen a long time ago, man. My comments got stuck. I was like, dude, why is my comments are stuck, bro?
Yeah, mine too. I'm just looking at my phone because I was like, I don't want to mess it up if I refresh.
Yeah, the last one was at the last one that came in was at 951, where it was $4 million cap hit, and it was stuck right there, bro. It wouldn't show me anything else. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Hey, I know, because I seen Michael G making fun of me or whatever. It's all good, dude. I love you, Michael. Even if you hate her. Hey, I'll tell you real quick on cards. Aiden O'Connell card of number 25 just sold for $332. Because I'll look at certain players sometimes just to see what's happening. And then if you have a 1 of 1, so if it's only one card printed, someone is selling an Aiden O'Connell card for over $3,000 right now. So you can make fun of me all you want. But if you had an Aiden O'Connell 1 of 1, you could sell that shit for at least $2,500, $3,000. So that's funny to me, because you know what I'm saying. But all love. But hey, I know we're gonna get in this next game. Can I ask you one quick question? If you guys were to say a position group, what's the deepest position group, or what's the hardest position group to decide on the cuts? Maybe it's the last 1 or 2 guys. What would you say is the hardest position group on this team that the organization has to come up with to cut to get to the final 53-man roster for that position?
Defensive line.
I'm going to say cornerback, but we have starters, but I just feel like the cornerback, it sounds crazy because going into this offseason, it was we need more depth at cornerback, but I think cornerback is one of the harder positions.
Corner. You know what I mean? The thing is, we're actually really good at corner. The top 6 are the top 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there's a drop off from there.
Yeah.
But that D line, and that D line that's a tough one. Because it's talent across the board on that defensive line. And that's one of the things that we've been lacking. So, and even then, with the defensive line cuts, you run the risk of not getting some of them back. I wouldn't say the same thing with the corners. If you cut some of these corners, they're just cut. And maybe you bring them back on the practice squad, maybe you don't. But for me, like I said, my top 6 corners are, Bennett, Hobbs, Peters, and then followed by Amik, Shelley, and Long, in that order.
Go.
I got a lot of faith in this rookie, man. He looks solid. You know what I mean? He looks solid. He's sticky. I like that. Amik is just a dog, bro. He's just a dog, and I like that he worked on his coverage a little bit better. You know what I mean? Throughout, because his coverage is a lot better this year. If you actually go look at the games, his coverage is really good. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that they've been saying throughout the training camps and through the joint practices, is that his coverage has gotten a whole lot better, you know. So I think he even added an inch or so to his vertical, you know. So now he can jump up a little bit higher. I mean, I said that pick six, if he would have got the pick six in the Rams game, bro, everybody been like, yeah, he's on the team. But everybody wants to kick him off the team because of his height. And that's, you know, for me, I don't care how big or small you are. I care about what you bring to the table. And he brings that dog, bro. You know,
fight the dog, bro.
Yeah, and they like him. You know what I mean? Not only do the corners like him, like Hobbs and Peters and Jacorian, you know what I mean? But the front office likes him too. You know what I mean? Amik is a guy that comes in, he does his job, he goes home. He's not out in the streets running around being crazy, doing nothing stupid or nothing like that. You know what I mean? He comes to work, he goes home. You know, you can call him a blue collar football player. You know, but you don't hear nothing bad about Amik. You know, so yeah, for me, especially coming out of a room where you had a motherfucking cancer like old boy who just can't seem to get right. That's what I call him now. Can't get right. But yeah, man, like that kid just cannot get right, bro. He can't stay out of the media. And honestly, I felt like they cut him a break by not sending him to jail for his last shit. He should have went to jail.
Yep.
He should have went to jail. But you know, that's what happens when you got a little bit of paper. We are past my hour and 30 minutes, but I do want to take the time to ask you guys individually, you know, what is your thought? What are you looking for in this next game? What do you think you will see in this next game? And who's not playing in this next game? We'll start with Philly Phil.
To be honest with you, when I go into preseason games, I try to go into it with absolutely no expectations whatsoever. And the reason why I do that is because when you go in with expectations, you start looking for certain things and stop focusing on the bigger picture. Whereas if you walk in there and you're just going to see what happens, see whoever it is out there versus whomever, then I have an idea of who had a good game, so that when I go back to watch it over again, I can confirm what it is that I think that I saw.
Okay.
So that's that. Who do I hope to see play? I hope that we'll get to see the starters for a little bit, because honest and truthfully, I think that the way that the preseason was originally, with you come in first game, play a series or two, second game, play a quarter, third game, play a half, and then fourth game is for the guys who aren't going to make the team. Although you don't have that fourth game anymore, you could work out something similar over the course of three. I just want to see the starters play a little bit, and maybe see Jimmy open it up just a little bit.
Okay. Who do you think you won't see this week?
Josh Jacobs.
Definitely. Okay. Hardcore. What do you think you're gonna see? What do you think you're not gonna see? What are you looking forward to seeing?
All right, so going into this preseason, essentially there's like a few guys I wanted to see, like how they developed. I want to continue to see the development phase for some of these guys. Like some of the key guys for me was going to be like maybe Bennett, if he was going to play, Jacorian Bennett, Aiden O'Connell, Amari Burney. You know, maybe you could throw Michael Mayer in there, but we know he's going to be on the team. He's going to be like one of the like starting or, you know, definitely get a lot of playing time in regular season. So for me, I just want to see this team. Like, I don't care about the score. I don't like, you know, I said this on my channel, but like, I don't want to be preseason champs. You know, I don't want to like get too hyped up on the Raiders in preseason. Cause like, you know, I want to look at the, like us potentially being able to be ready to play against some good teams like when we play the Bills. So for me, like I just want to see this team to continue to grow, develop, but not be so hyped up on them to where I feel like we won a couple preseason games. I think we're really great, because I got duped last year when we went 4-0, didn't have a lot of penalties. So for me, I just want to see guys like Aiden O'Connell. I want to make sure that it's not a fluke thing. And I just want to see him continue to grow and develop as well as other guys and see who's going to really fight hard to be on this team. I don't know if we're going to see starters. I feel like we probably won't. I know some teams at times will play that third preseason games, like, a series of their starters. Maybe it's a good idea to do that. Maybe it's not. I'm always 50-50 on it because it's like, if you don't, they don't have any like playing time at all or enough, and if you do, then you chance them getting hurt. So I definitely don't want to see any guys get hurt or whatever. So part of me, I guess, for who I don't want to see or whatever is I kind of don't want to see the starters. I feel like we know who the starters are. I really just want to see the backup guys. And, there's some key positions, like you guys said, defensive line, for me, cornerback, and even wide receiver depth. I just want to see kind of who's going to take the reins. Some other guys were talking in the chat about Trey Tucker. He was dropping some balls here and there. And that was one of the things I said going into preseason, which was, sometimes those speedy guys don't always have the best hands. So if you look at the production of Trey Tucker's college career, he doesn't have a ton of yards. And I'm not saying he has to be able to develop. And of course, there's stud wide receivers like Jerry Rice, who didn't have a good first year in the NFL, as well as other guys. But nevertheless, he's got to be able to catch the ball a little bit more, I feel like, when he has those opportunities. So the point is, I want to see Trey Tucker take advantage of his opportunities here this last preseason game. And hopefully we see a little bit better hands. I'm not saying he's got to catch every pass or every pass was on him, but I just want to see him make some big plays when it counts. Because if he can, then that means that's going to be good for us down the road, whether it's immediately or down the road. So
cool. For me, I don't need to see I don't need to see Garoppolo. I don't. I damn sure don't want to see Hoyer. I want to see O'Connell. I want to see Chase. If this is Chase's last game, man, shit. If this just so happened to be his last game in the NFL, man, let the kid play, man. Let the kid have some form of memories to say, hey, man, I played a couple of games in the NFL. I did this, blah, blah, blah. It's the last week. You know what I mean? You got a week to go. You got a week off between now and week 1 after this game, right? So let's go ahead and say, hey, look, let these guys play. Let them battle out for 2 and 3 or 3 and 4 or 3 and none, but I want to see Chase play. Also, I'm still paying attention to this defense. I'm not worried about the offense. My whole thing focused coming into this preseason, watching these games, I've been focused on the defense 100%. I focused on the offense, but not like I focused on this defense. I focused on this defense 100%. I record the game and then run it back, and I watch the same play 10 times because I want to see what everybody's doing. Why did it work? Why didn't it work? You know what I mean? Who was out of position? And look, I got to say, man, this defense is a lot better than the defense that we had last year. So that's what I'm looking forward to in this game, is watching this defense again versus a Dallas team that actually does have a couple of weapons in their backup arsenal. So I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully a win. I don't give a shit if it's preseason or not. Anytime we can beat the Cowgirls, man, I'm happy about it. So, and then I know after that, come Monday, bombs are coming Monday. Cuts are coming. Cuts are coming Monday. They have till the 29th, if I'm not mistaken, Phil. The 29th?
Yes, the 29th.
Yeah. They got till the 29th, which will be Monday, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
Tuesday.
it'll be Tuesday.
So they got it. So cuts are coming Monday because they got to be at the 53 on Tuesday. So yeah, it's gonna cut. Remember, we got 90 something players right now, and we got to get down to 53. And it's gonna be some cuts. It's gonna be some moves. It's gonna be some changes. You know, I'm excited. Phil, before we go, man, let them know what you got going on, where they can find you. You know what I mean? Give them all the good stuff, the credentials and shit.
Man, you could always find me on YouTube at The Unfiltered Truth. Click on the notifications so that you can keep up with the erratic way in which I provide my content. Now, me and Jones are working on trying to make sure that we come deliver some consistent content on the set days and whatnot. But I know coming up this season, we'll be back with our weekly chat with Levi. At some point, I'm probably going to get a chance to sit down with Mo and probably Scott of the Silver and Black Today. Also, you can read all my writing at theraiderramble.com. I just, like I said, I got an article on Aiden O'Connell out right now, and got something in the works moving forward. And then you can also catch me at the Combat Lounge. I'm actually going down in October to go cover Bellator 300 in San Diego.
Okay. Cool deal. Sounds good. Sounds real good. Be a couple of hours south of me, but holla at me when you pass through.
I'm flying.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't holla at me. That's an expensive phone. An expensive phone call. Hardcore, man. Let them know what you got going on, where they can find you, what life is all about.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I mean, I'm not dropping a ton of videos on my Raider channel, maybe like once a week. You know, I don't want to be, you know, I'll do some clickbait shit, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been big on this Jacobs thing. I just want him to suit up, and then I'll calm down a lot, you know. I really think he can help us win a championship, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But nevertheless, you can subscribe to me at Hardcore Raider on YouTube. And then I also have my card channel, which, you know, is mainly like, you know, Raider cards, sports cards. And going to do we hit over 500 subs last week. So could do a special giveaway this Saturday. Usually go live about 7 p.m. Pacific time, but I know you were saying you're going to go live. So I might adjust that time depending on when you're going live, just so we don't cross over, because I try to leave my availability open. But you can find my card channel at Hardcore Card Collecting. Going to do something special for everybody. Last time I did a special giveaway, it was like a complete set of 1973 Topps Raiders, which was of the 1972 season, which was the year of the Immaculate Reception. So gave away an entire set. It was pretty awesome to be able to give that to somebody, and going to try to do something similar coming up this weekend. So just something cool, dude, that I wanted to do for myself. I like collecting cards. I know not everybody's into that. But I'm also trying to, you know, pay some stuff forward, give back to the Raider Nation. And so if you guys want to check it out, would appreciate it. You can give me a sub over there at Hardcore Card Collecting. Usually go live Saturdays, kind of show you guys what I got going on, and then I'll do a giveaway at the end of the show. But, you know, I appreciate it. Just love to come and chop it up, talk some Raiders when I'm not pissed off about the Jacobs thing. But we're getting to season, so I'm like calming down a little bit. I'm ready, man, you know.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you both, man. As for me, man, you guys know where you can find me because you already pulled up. I'm here. You're here. We're all having a good time. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. If you want to find me on IG, you know, dirty_Raider, holla at me there. I'm not there every day, but, you know, hit me. I'll respond back to you. That's how we do. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, it has been a pleasure. 50 billion things in the world that you could be doing. The fact that you allowed me to grace your screen, be it your phone, be it your tablet, your watch, your TV, whatever it was. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's greatly appreciated, more than I can verbally express. I'm pretty sure my guests echo the same sentiment because, look, there's a million things you could choose. So, with that being said, as always, no matter how much it rains, you can never stop the sun from shining. Raider Nation, fuck who hates you. who fucking loves you. Go get your sunshine.